And there is the 777 parked in the wrong direction. Ollie Espray out of this one. Here's what happened. It was Jaden Wanzak just ahead, and it looks like Gutierrez and just got a tank slapper going. Man, that was side on. There's got to be some internal damage. Even though it's a tyre wall, it's still a big hit.
It is a very big hit for a side impact like that, and the safety cells and everything inside these cars, race cars, do a great job in that regard.
Line up on Jimmy Byrne here, might go for a pass, and he does. He's coming in hot. He's coming in hot. Makes contact, and Vernon gets moved stage right, and the Hunter Pacific Ceiling Fans, number 50.
Up out of turn 2, and now he's under attack from Crick as well, so everything going on for this last lap of this opening race.
Oh, Crick tried the Harris move at the cutting. Says, if you do it, I can do it too, pal. Saw him coming. Didn't want to make too much contact, but this might attract the attention from upstairs. Harris into Vernon. He was coming in hot, and the 50 parked down there at the elbow. Now, years ago, that would have been raw concrete.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the other shot, another replay. Got sort of a little bit of a helping hand on the exit of turn 1, but this is it, last corner. And that was going to be, you can see them side drafting all the way down Conrod Straight. There's nothing in it, but look at Harris. He's going to make it 3 wide.
No! No! And there's big contact at high speed. Harris has caught this car. How has he done that? That was nearly 250 kilometres an hour.
Yeah, absolutely. Had to make sure they got through there. Now, there's another replay. Didn't I miss that at the beginning? And that's why the other two, actually, SuperUtes were so far back on the opening lap, but it was all going on. Nicely done, back on track.
It's looking from the other side of the track, showing you how high it climbs. And Tomo, I think it was Jason Norris who is involved. This might tell us from the in-car camera of Mike Sherwood. Yes, there was some contact there between the Automasters car and the Thrifty Car Rentals entry. The man who heads up Western Sydney Motorsport there in the bottom right-hand side of the screen. So the 90 cars drop back, and that was the contact for Harris. We saw that from the wall cam in front of Aaron in the cab, and this was the aftermath of that car getting the two-wheel and feeling on the Conrod Straight. I mean, he's got a lot of experience. Here it is again, climbing up. Oh, my goodness. Straighten that car up in time, and well done to everybody else behind as well.
This is another camera angle. You see how high the front, there it is. Makes contact with the wall, actually straightened him up. Roll Harris did a really good job to recover that. Conversations going on. This is the replay, all nicely done down in the braking zone into the chase. But turned it in, and then Howe's like, no, I'm taking that spot. And for Woods, he ends up way out west in the grass.
This is from Mick Sherwell with Amar Sharma behind. Jason Norris in the Automasters entry. Yay! No!
And has
no! Mick Sherwell doesn't hit the wall though, but loses 3 positions. And I dare say, been a tough weekend for Tomo. Had a fire in his Aussie racing car earlier today on Conrod Straight. This is him taking to the outfield on the grass in the Thrifty Car Rentals Western Sydney Motorsport car. Oh no. Did he touch it? Just enough to rub a bit of paint off onto the concrete wall. You can't push me this far. Here's Sharma. Oh, climbing over Rossi Johnson. So we caught the tail end of that battle. This is what set Vernon up for the move down at turn number 6. Another 3 positions.
This is on board now. This is what happened. Oh, nice catch. With that contact, it completely shifted sideways. But again, then Rossi Johnson gets up the inside, and you'll see that here on the right-hand side of the camera. There it is. Vernon, unfortunately, just runs a bit wide at turn 7, and Rossi Johnson says, thank you very much. I'm spot back.
It's the move from inside at 6, so he thought he had it done here, and had a glance over at the Territorian. It's just single file. The racing line's so narrow through there. Spinning around like a fan was the 50, rejoining to the track now, back in 17th position. What a highlights reel this is going to be at the end of 1. 3 more still to go.
It was one of those very long spins. Took a long time for it to come around. But you can see there, Jimmy Vernon actually went past him. So with all that work done from Rossi Johnson, this is what, he's gone up the inside of Walsh, and they've just had contact. That's at turn 5. And whether they had some issues is, on board, puts it up the inside, but then bang, heavy contact.
Yikes, that was more than contact through there, and Walsh, not the way he wanted to celebrate. Further back, Brad Verica in the V-Stone entry that he's leasing from Jaden Maggs this year. So looking across at him from Rossi Johnson. Wait, coming hot.
He came in very hot. And that was the contact. Bit of concertina into turn 5. And you can see the end result there.
By less than half a second. Back to some replays. Whoa, Mick Sherwell having another moment here and just gets bumped by Jensen Engelhardt.
Trying to make up as many positions as he can.
This is Rossi Johnson. This has not turned out to be the day the Territorian was planning in the Plenty Faster Fairer Loans entry. As he grabs half a race and gets back into proceedings here. Now, is there maybe some slippery substance at the turn 1 area? So Sherwell and Harris in the pits, confirming loss of oil pressure on the 58 Mazda BT50. Someone spinning, you can hear it in the background, and it's Brad Verica, the Victorian in the V-Stone entry, loses 2 positions.
And you can hear on board right there just how much sort of, well, there's a replay of turn 1. Doesn't look like there's any contact, just on his own. Just on Dave Cedars there on board, you can see.
That's the Alexandra Best entry, Best Leisure Industries Mazda BT50. So front end damage on the 76, should be able to get that car around. At least, contact in the middle of the straight for Cottrell, and he's come out in front of Peak Hour. Walsh is going to spin himself into the sand trap. And how we didn't have more damage, one will never know. Brad Verica going bush on the outside in the V-Stone Mitsubishi Tri. On the way out in practice. Now, look in the middle of the shot here. Was there contact? Yes, there was. Right in the middle of that short shoot. Setting Walsh scattering. And pretty much the entire field. Great drive from the South Australian to move the car out the way and not be a sitting duck. Verica on the left-hand side. Drove straight across. He got back out of it, but for Walsh, he's parked. The Fat Freddy's car is stuck down there at the old Shenanigans Hill.
And the gravel trap did a fantastic job. There's not a lot of room, exit room off that side of Rossi Johnson on board here. You can see it all, everyone just taking avoided action there. He did a really nice job, just stayed on track, got through it all. But yeah, for Walsh, unfortunately, stuck in the gravel trap. So another one, that's Harris on the back, and you can see in the background behind him, there it is, the contact will just be happening right there. There it is, you can see that's so quick through this section of racetrack.
It's a G-Technic Ford Ranger of Ryan Howell that was in the mix of that. We were looking back at Ryle Harris in the brand new Mazda BT50. By the time we got to this shot, it was well and truly on. Cars scattering. It helped Rossi Johnson. He's paid up 8 spots because of all of this. Like a magnet on the back of the 90. Just a bit of rub coming back this side. And very lucky not to turn that car to the right-hand side. Great recovery, great car control from Jaden Wansack, and only second round in the series. And all you like, it's a really narrow, slow hairpin. And watch Rossi Johnson here in the background. It's just too high and got right rear on the grass and just looped him around to the tail. He made up a couple of positions. He's in 18th at the moment. Ryle Harris has been given another 5-second time penalty on our screens up here. We'll come back to that soon. We're looking back at this from Johnson's perspective. How to lose 8 spots in a blink of an eye, and the Plenty tend to stay that way, don't they?
Here's the replay. It was actually Jimmy Vernon trying to go up the inside, and yeah, had the inside wheel locked up and just absolutely hit the back rear quarter and turned him around.
He's going for the lead here as his bump and grind already. Marjoram on the outside. Cottrell, and now he's been served off in the distance. Aaron Borg, here it is from the Brzezinski Wanless Western Sydney Motorsport car. He's hoping for a bit of this as 3 cars parted ways. Trying to move himself back up into the 10 while the series leader, look at the battle damaged already on the front of the 90. So he's punched out the rear light assembly on the Western Sydney Hertz entry of Craig Woods. And Jaden Wansack up into 4th position now. Race leader, big lose here for Luke Webber. Turn number 1 and is arrested in the gravel. So big wheels, the SCM Mechanics Mazda BT50.
This is the replay. Watch the top of the screen. He's already out of control even before he got to the turn-in phase of turn 1. So that's happened very early on that section. You can see them going through the grass, got everything locked up, trying to slow the Super Ute down. 1 spin, 2 spin, 3 spin, and the gravel trap doing it. So we're under safety car now to try and retrieve that out of the gravel trap at exit of turn 1.
Who was struggling yesterday with the gearbox, with the 3rd gear in that car. They've rectified that overnight. Crick and Woods like a pair of fish coming out of turn number 8. And we've seen plenty of incidents over the years at this corner.
Yeah, you can see Crick just trying to squeeze and a little bit clumsy on the exit because Woods really needed to have a little bit more room. This will show a better picture. If you look at the top of your screen, Woods is right out of bounds, but he's trying to get back on track with the overlap with Crick. They have contact. You can see straight away that front right wheel. Everyone's playing game at the moment, but again, just try to now set up the exit of 5. So keep it to the right. Harris has run wide. Look at Crick trying to sneak up the inside of Aaron. There's contact.
Bartram around. Crick takes the outside of the gravel.
This is the replay, as I was saying, trying to get the run out of 4. Crick right here. He tries to use that little bit of extra momentum to get up the inside of Marjoram. He does not get it right up underneath, but then it looks like Marjoram might have Borg might have hit Marjoram. Teammate into teammate.
Let's look from the Roosters' perspective. He's got the popcorn in the passenger seat here. Seen how this plays out. Oh, it's... You're calling it.
I still think that Borg unfortunately had contact with his teammate.
This is the one. And damning on there. Crick and Marjoram. Great recovery from the 15 D-Max for the final positions of this race. Of course, Walsh and Brzezinski will have those times added to the end of the race that will jumble up our top 10 and contact the final turn between Formosa and Webber. And they're probably thinking, well, we probably won't be on TV here. We'll get away with this. Wrong.
We were right there in the action at the right time. Formosa just tried to... Oh, he's taking the front grille off us at the same time. Trying to get up the inside on the last corner. It actually got the overlap. I don't think... watch it again. Formosa now does a really nice job. Runs it narrow on the entry. Gets it inside.
The door was open.
Webber just trying to come down and look at that. And then they both have more contact. Secondary contact then spins both of them around again.
Big spin, and Webber, his second off of the weekend. Ambitious, but certainly entertaining the fans up there. I'll give them a round of applause to... What did I say? It was 20th and 21st position as the grill comes off. Like anyway, on the side of his Mitsubishi Triton, this is Amar Sharma and Jason Norris at the Automasters entry. And they've managed to drive through it. Did it make any contact? Well done, everybody, to avoid that. With a dust cloud, Norris could have been in big trouble. 18 of Cody Brzezinski. We've got a car stopped at Brock's Skyline right near the boardwalk. Is that Alexandra Best?
That is.
It is the 76 Blacktown Master entry. And that might be
the end of the session.
Yeah.
I reckon it's right in the wrong spot there.
76 sits at the top. Here's what happened, and you picked it. Wow. Very few have a lose up there and don't crease a panel.
That definitely would have got the heart rate up. Here we go, slow motion. We're going to get a little bit of a scrape on the wall with Rossi. That is full sideways, full send.
Yeehaw.
Well, I reckon he might need to get a lottery ticket after that, because that looked...
At the Solomon Park section of the track.
Not a place to pass, is it?
Oh, and Harris letting him know that he's there, unloading the indicator assembly on the right side of his Ford Ranger. I don't think I'd like to get in the way of Raul Harris, particularly after the morning he's had, and making his feelings known to the 77-year-old as he serves him at the top of McPhillamy.
Well, I think that's a little bit naughty there. Obviously, Raul will be pretty fired up in that helmet. Obviously, a bad morning this morning and getting a bit of traffic, but this is qualifying. You need to look after your fellow competitors. At 77, do you reckon he's got a bit of swing in him still? And there he goes. He's just ended his session. Front bar off.
And the charge at turn number 1 is on in race number 1 of Time Penalty. And SuperUtes, and look at Crick trying to force the door open. Climbed up in the air in the Ranger. He might just get third position through turn 1. Middle of the pack. We've got a car spun right in the middle of the field, and everybody taking evasive action out towards the bush, we can say today.
Experience pays. Ball, great start. Brzezinski just spun the wheels there, so he'd be kicking himself. And young Jaden Wanzak there into second and hunting down the leaders. Hopefully Cricky hasn't got any damage there from touching wheels and having a little bit of a
background. Sorry to jump over. There's a car that's being turned around the middle of the straight. I saw a car limping. I thought that was Adrian Cottrell's car in the background.
It's Harris. It is Harris already, so his weekend goes from bad to worse. We'll have to see what's going on, but I reckon that'll be a safety car straight away.
Now, is there going to be damage to Cam Crick? Now, watch the Ranger on the second row trying to force the door here. He climbed up.
3 into 2 never goes well, but obviously everyone's got eyes forward. Great start by Wanzak as well, up into second, and here we go. Cottrell again just getting in the back. Skibberus Motorsport there on the side to Brian Skibberus, who passed away, so a big shout out to that family, our condolences as we hold our breaths.
So Cottrell, watch the green car in the background, make contact with Woods in the middle of the turn. That turned the 64 around.
Side view up the mountain straight. Here we go again. Just a slight bounce there, so he should be pretty safe. Hopefully the tyres are still intact. But in the background, you just see Cottrell in the Colorado into the side of Woods, and that really just ends his race pretty quickly. Okay, we'll have a look in the background. We're going to go here, just right up the back there.
So there's Cottrell cruising, so it's kind of stacking the field up. Now, was Harris helped here? I'm trying to pick up where he is in the shot. There he is. He was locking up. He was locking up to avoid the car ahead there.
So it looks like maybe Scotty Taylor's just got off the throttle and caught Roll Harris out, and he's hit him in the probably in the right rear or left rear and just gone. And Ben Walsh obviously out in the lead. He will not want to give this up, but he's got a fast charging Holly Espray right up his backside. So let me see if she can put some pressure on him. Oh no, there's contact here. Let's see if they stay off the wall just so that may compromise Wanzak moving forward. Hopefully there's no damage.
And the field climbing towards Solomon Park. For the first time, Marjoram must have kissed the wall then. And he'll stack the field up. Has he hurt the motion, D-Max?
That's cold tyres, just having a go. You've got a mirror full of fast-charging utes. You've got cold tyres. Man, this is tough racing. Already on the first lap, I reckon Dave Cedars will be sitting there licking his lips. Oh, no! That's a broken wheel. He's going to go straight ahead.
And Marjoram watching the traffic as well as where he's going. It's narrowed down through this section. And Wanzak is limping down the hill. Damage to the Carry Boy entry. Inevitable contact there at the top of the mountain. What a shame.
And it's easy to do. The wheels just stick wide. They've got basically a set wheel width, and you've got these guards when the tyres are warm. And here we go again. It's just a perfect example. They grab and they bounce around, and they're just doing damage. There's just so much close side-to-side racing, but missed his apex and then lent on our friend here, Jaden Wanzak, on the exit. There we go, right there. Just enough to unsettle him and scrape the wall. He's recovered from that one, but it was the next one there at Skyline that brought him unstuck.
Just rode the boards like a boss, didn't he, up there through Griffins?
My heart goes in my mouth. That is my car, so I don't want him to wreck it too much. But I shouldn't say that. He's having a go, and look, there's Marjoram. That's obviously adjusted his steering alignment there. He'll be struggling for the rest of the race. And again, early break there probably caught Wanzak out. They'll get it repaired. He'll be out in race 3.
This was coming out of the Pizza Hut elbow. Rossi Johnson climbing over Cody Brzezinski in the middle of that turn coming down the straight. Here it is looking back at the...
He's missed a gear. Brzezinski's missed a gear, so that's actually not Rossi's fault there. He just got caught out when Brzezinski's missed a gear.
Sherwell, the Nova air conditioning entry. Another lap in the books. Ryan Howe leads his first laps in the V8 SuperUtes Series. Espray second, Walsh in, Walsh out.
And they all get away with not getting hit. That's just unfortunate. Obviously, you're battling hard. Espray's off to the side. They will recover, but that just wrecks Holly's race. I'm so disappointed for her. But you know, with Ben Walsh, there's fireworks waiting, and they just erupted.
All dramas here for
That's
Mudflat.
Casey. That is Casey.
Big damage at the top of the mountain. So Dave Casey in the Barnsley's trailer and truck sales entry has hit the wall, or someone up there just at Brock Skyline has parked up the number 5.
I thought he caught Walshy napping there. A few lock brakes, a few labouring Yokohamas as Sherwell just runs wide and Engelhardt just slowing down for sympathy.
This was House the lead. Walsh and Espray making contact. That was the first rub. Walsh came in hot, tagged the back of the Uniden car, and the Miss Moneypenny's car went spinning down the orange road, putting him towards the back. Hard luck there for Espray. This is the view from David Cedars.
He's just sitting back, eating the popcorn, just having a look, going, thank you, guys. That's a 2-for-1 right there. Easiest 2 moves he'll ever make.
Remember George Fury doing a moment like that many years ago, getting the 2-for-1 down there at Hell Corner. This is the top, and how?
Just
against
a moment.
the wall. Did he?
Just had a sidestep and he's grabbed it, but that'll just put a little bit of a scratch, but no major harm there. Beautiful slow motion driving. Here we go. Is this Dave Casey? Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Yes, it is.
It is.
And he's just done what most people don't. Remember that saying, young bloke, cold tyres? Maybe that's the same. Oh, the second hit right there. It's never good. These are a ladder chassis, so they don't like it. Caught Craig Wood snapping there. A brilliant move up, under brakes. And here we go. We've got a car sideways and in the fence. That's Engelhardt. So we were just praising everyone for doing a good job. Hopefully he can get that spun around so we don't get a safety car. Race this morning, carrying a new tyre, so that should give him some advantage. And here we see Crick Underwoods gets it done, but just in the background here, Engelhardt, is he helped? Yes, he is by Roll Harris. Just gives him a little tap. Probably close there, a little bit line ball, didn't see him. That'll be one for Stephen Whiteout. Compromise all the way up Mountain Straight, and again, you've got this brand new, good-looking SCTR Racing. Oh, someone's off.
It's that Marjoram.
That's Marjoram, I reckon. He's in the... Yes, it is. Oh, he will be dark with himself. A mistake. That Motion Triton will not be coming out. It's the last lap. Will that be a safety car?
Well, it'll be a run to at the end. At least it's past the finish line on the final lap. What happened? Was he making the move on the G-Technic Ranger? Oh, he come in hot. He came in real hot. And he is buried down there.
He's going to be extremely disappointed. Maybe he's just lost his braking marker and sideways into that shit. That's the steepest part of the track there too. So he would have carried that mistake. Here we go. The highlights reel again. That's Walshy. He said he was going to play it safe. I reckon he hasn't, but stayed off the wall.
Beach chicane. Again, you see how much the attitude, and this is where Cedars... Oh, it's the back.
Yeah, it wasn't the mirror. It was the indicator assembly on the rear of the car.
Be able to position it, brake where you want to, and it's really hard.
Oh, background, there's a car going the wrong direction. It's still on. Holly Espray in the Uniden 777. I wonder if she was the one that was in the wall. Heavy damage to the 777. Another car facing the wrong direction.
Yeah, can't see any fluid coming out of it, so she might have been quite lucky. She had the contact with the wall. This is another replay. So you'll see the two Utes come into shot now. He's contact. You can hear the contact, and Holly's gone left. She's made contact with the wall and then done a 360, as you mentioned. Did a really nice job to recover and actually keep going.
I was watching Craig Woods. I thought he'd tapped the wall, but he was locking the rear brakes just ahead there in the 64, so he took the shortcut, but it was just all happening in the background. The 777 and Luke Webber, who just made it through in the end, got a tap on the left rear, the SCM Mechanics entry. Probably wiping the brow going, that could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely. There's got a lot of debris to be cleaned up from all the marshals around, posted around this circuit. See again there, top of the shot there, they just, very lucky in a lot of regards that not others were involved in this incident. It's well over 200 kilometres an hour down into this first chicane. You've got to sort of like, see that little kink, it's a little bit blind, and get a little bit of overlap, and it just, something like that can easily be done.
Everybody else ready to play ahead, and for Johnson, be damaged right front on that car. Heavy internal damage, you'd think. Well, the Hardy fans know. Now dramas for Jensen Engelhardt. That's down at turn number 1. Australian Industrial Vacuum entry gets away. So the Dustbuster back onto the track in 20th. That's his nickname. I'm only saying what it says. Down here at the bottom of the beach, what happened to the JKD car?
No, I just carried too much speed into that first phase of the chicane. Tyre bundles doing a really nice job there.
Of Craig Woods.
Oh, this was the incident.
Just hot, wasn't it?
Yeah, just too much speed. That's a blind corner, and you can't underestimate how much.
A couple of more cars taking liberties down there. Look at Crick down the inside. No! They've both gone. Brzezinski, and it's going to be a traffic jam down here. They get away with it. Crick with a flick spin. How do we not have more cars in that?
To car 90, bumping car 5 at turn 11 and
come back to the moment. So from behind it looked like he was further up, but
no, he wasn't. But actually, Crick did a really good job. Flick spin around, got away out of the way because, as you mentioned, it was going to be a bit of a car park very soon.
Scott McLaughlin pulled this off many years ago.
Yes,
and I reckon Cam Crick might have studied that clip.
But how was Brzezinski? Brzezinski backs it into the tyre bundles and then literally plucks a gear and drives away. So he did a really good job. I don't think he actually lost a spot.
No, he didn't. You're right, and Crick lost about 4 in the process. Maybe 6 with the additional cars coming around. Oh, where's the music when you need it?
Pirouetting together.
In sync down there at turn 11. See that for race control.
He's going to have to readdress that side of it for me because that's making an advantage. Cameron Crick up the inside as well. He has contact.
And heavy contact, it'd seem, on the watching Adrian Cottrell. Ben Walsh and co on their way down. Walsh making the move. Trying to make the move. He's come in hot. And he's going to loop the Miss Money's car into the fence. Heavy contact with that 4-deep tyre wall for the Miss Money Penny's entry. He'll spin back around, but has he got a flat left front tyre? Yes, it has. It's peeled away from the rim as well.
I think both tyres, you can see there, both tyres are flat.
Oh, boy. The number 8 was inside the top 10. That's going to be hard work. He'd be better off just going straight out the exit there to the pits. So from a long way back, perhaps?
Yeah, a long way back, but then he got caught out with the tyre bundle right there. He had nowhere to go but where he ended up. And front tyre blew when he just got that bounce. But you can watch him there. It had overlap, but he wasn't far enough down the inside to really command. Cottrell decided to go through. They both did actually go through the run-through, but for Walsh, unfortunately, yeah, he had nowhere to go.
Keen photographers grabbing a shot there, but also taking a couple of nervous steps back from the safety fence down there. Here it is on the slow-mo, coming through the chicane and clipping that tyre barrier. So both tyres down on the Miss Moneypenny's number 8. Cottrell fights on, so too does Craig Woods as he zips through that replay. And yeah, that's going to be really hard work. In fact, they're pits in this duo, I would have thought. So he must have got the tyre barrier, might have unloaded him down there too in the chicane. He didn't crease the panel.
Nope,
nice.
Did a really nice job. Just this was on the interesting list of opportunities of trying to go backwards on a racetrack to get the flick spin done, but he got away with it.
The fans going, track's that way, dude.
Yep.
Off he goes. Maybe the boom gate's not open to get out the track just now. Best. We come to that at the right time. And Engelhardt, the Australian Industrial Vacuum 805, a blind corner for everybody on approach, but he should be able to get out of there, and more damage. Now, more broken parts.
They haven't changed ever since.
So it started coming out of turn number 11 between Best and Engelhardt. It would come to tears down here. Oh, Best was lucky not to understeer into the wall, and then on his own, but the tyre wall pinballed him back out and into the passenger door of the Blacktown Mazda entry. And we've seen this before down here too. That tyre wall rebounds the cars out and does cause a lot of damage. That's the second incident, and now she's done it on her own at turn number 4. So she's having quite the day out. Borg down the inside.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. I was just sort of seeing if Borg was actually going to be more aggressive. Oh, that's Scott Taylor.
He'd be hating this corner today. The Cubs involved. Oh, Rossi Johnson's in there, and Ben Walsh. And it was Jimmy Vernon. There was a waved yellow. In fact, Richard Borg was in there too.
They got half of the field stuck down at turn 11. Yeah, problem from afterwards. This is now into turn 11. Scotty Taylor, you can see them get turns around thinking, oh, look, Walsh. Rossi Johnson had nowhere to go.
Collective cheer from the crowd down there in turn number 11. I've seen plenty of action over the last 2.5 days at the Boost Mobile Gold Coast 500. So it's in the background, Taylor and Sharma. Dave Casey drove around. Richard Borg went down the road to Southport. Here it is from the Phantom's perspective. Oh, he missed the wall. That was going for the wall. How did he save that?
I reckon he had an issue, something mechanically going on. So you can see them, he's sliding. He needed a fork wheel.
Luke Webber. Oh, Scotty, not again. The Maddox 222. It's like two bulls headbutting down here.
It's almost like a face-off.
The STM Mechanics car of Webber. Was he assisted? This was Dave Casey. Mud flap. Ouch.
And that answer would be yes.
And he's hoping Stephen White didn't see that at race control.
And here comes Scotty Taylor. Very nicely done.
And Richard Morky, not again. Morky in the 7 entry, matching his age. Coming down, Nick Sherwell. So it wasn't all on his own. There was an assistance from behind. Lost 2 spots. So chicane aboard the number 15. Oh boy, that's the second time for the day for Aaron Borg. He hit it during practice earlier. The reigning 2-time champion, just kissing the wall there. Found the track quite dusty. They were the first ones out earlier today, and the Cedars team had a fair bit to do getting this car ready for qualifying. That's not what they wanted, nor did Aaron want to see. Oh, more than a kiss, wasn't it?
It actually looked like it was
45 machine. Here's Richard Bork with Scott Taylor in tow, the Indigo 222, and reversing around. Wow, that's the second moment for Dantas. Probably a good thing we don't talk to him now for the rest of the session.
I think we might give him a bit of a commentator's curse. I think he was too focused. I actually said on his eyes, like, he was really focused. You can see that he just loses the rear right there, right at the wrong point. And he got away with it because there's not a lot of runoff. You can see there's the concrete wall. He got away with that beautifully. So did his 360, pluck a gear, second gear, and away he goes again. Circulating around this racetrack. They're still running around.
Hello.
Whoa, and just kisses it on the second time. But just be interesting for me, just talking about the tyre life and everything else and trying to save it over the course of this weekend, but they're still circling around the racetrack. There's only 4 cars in pit lane at the moment.
Meantime, Jensen Engelhardt coming in hot, coming in real hot, and spins in front of Scotty Taylor. And no contact.
It's a car park. Scotty Taylor does a nice little flick turn. Best, she's just got going again. So yeah, thankfully no contact. Thankfully no one had any contact. Scotty Taylor saw it coming. He gave him a wide berth. You can see there that just Engelhardt had the rears locked up. Away it went. Alexander Best, she just got caught up in the sort of the aftermath. She tried to sneak up the inside, but the way that Engelhardt spun, you can see there, he was full lock. He had no more steering to give.
Yeah, he was in trouble here for poor Alexandra Best. She had to stop and park in front of the 805, the Dustbuster. Backing down the track, Australian Industrial Vacuum entry.
Turn 4, again, it's lots going on in front of him. Oh, there we go, Harris. Oh, no, sorry.
It's Brzezinski. Harris on the outside. The Ford Ranger sweeps across the field. Where do you look? On the climb up through the staircase. In rows of 2, 6 cars, 7 cars involved. And poor Ryan Howe from second, maybe to 6th here. The 2 motion twins on their way through. Someone's going to give here. This is brewing.
Brzezinski did a really nice job folding behind Harris. Harris, as I said, he's in no mood for waiting around. He's now on the mission.
Oh, that's Walsh. He's got the wall. The Miss Moneypenny's car crabbing down the track. The field spreading away. One of the fastest corners in Australian motorsport. And Ben Walsh, a season to forget. Here it is on the replay.
Top of your screen, you can see him there. He's run wide on the entry. You can see him trying to slide it, and he just, the back goes in first and slams the front in. And as you mentioned, it's one of the fastest corners on the calendar. And with the concrete walls on the outside, he's not the lone ranger to go and make friends with that. Oh, you can hear that thump. That's a big impact on that side. But give the teams credit. With all the actions been going on over the weekend, as well as this championship, they've done a great job repairing and getting these SuperUtes back out. But there as well, top of the screen, just a little bit wide, and you don't have to be that wide to have an impact. You can see the rear diff slopping from side to side. So
Crick on the inside of Cedars, Borg trying to cover off Crick at the same time. Meantime, it's on at the front. Harris sweeping to the outside, and they've made contact. They straighten each other up.
They're still going.
This is Brzezinski. And so was Harris. Goodness me, what a last lap this has been. Who's going to win the charge to the end? Wanzak, Brzezinski. Brzezinski parks it to the end. They climb on each other's wheels. This is insane. Marjoram, and from nowhere, the menace says, take that, and does it.
What a finish.
I've given up. That's it. Race of the year. Stephen Bradbury, or Adam Marjoram, as he likes to be called.
That is a perfect. Harris won't be happy.
What just happened? What was that about? But somehow Adam Marjoram burst through from 8th. Here is it. I don't know how you're going to call this. You should do this one.
Well, this has happened also with Mork. That was at turn 7, so that happened on the last lap. So he's lost the rear and backed it into the tyre bundle. They'll let you get your breath back. But this is where it all started. So this is the first and second, Harris and Wanzak, and they're still in contact. Brzezinski was trying to get around the inside. Harris ends up in the concrete wall. Thankfully, everyone misses Harris. And then it plays on further down, but this is another angle. Harris just, he hits the tyre bundle, which then turns him into the concrete wall. I'm just thankful no one else was any part of that.
From a long way back, this was too at the braking zone, so Harris decided it was now or never. Locked up on the curb.
How many times did they run over each other's wheels?
It's not the last race of the season yet, gentlemen. And look, this could have ended up in the fence in a big way.
Straightens Harris up.
And Brzezinski was like a shark waiting to take a bite out of both of them.
But it continues. This is now Brzezinski's got an opportunity.
So hit us from high up and just catches the car. Ryan Howe was so lucky. So too was Donta. So too was Vernon. And at the final turn, Adam Marjoram popped ahead of both of them. So it's a move up here. He tried to move him across. It was the overlap, and that's the only invitation that Manus needed.
And there's Howe. Roll Howe just gets a nice run to the checkered flag. So Brzezinski up the inside of Wanzak. Oh, hear that crunch.
Are you serious? That just happened. Marjoram wins. Howe gets his best result. Brzezinski will fight for another day. For Ryle Harris, he walks back busted and disgusted, no doubt, with what's happened to that 58 machine. You won't believe these results when they come up because it was nothing like this on the restart. Ryle Harris walks away. Harris has come back up into 11th after that little incident we saw at the bottom of the screen. This was Woods on Jimmy Vernon and the Fluid Film 50, racing the tyre wall as well. Fair bump play on.
Oh, very close to that. Should have given a bit more room on the exit of turn 4, but Vernon did a really nice job to actually not get... When you hit that tyre bundle like that, luckily got the rear. If he got on the front quarter, he actually would have sucked him in. So he actually got away with it. This is the replay of Wanzak. Did it, yep, on his own, down into turn 9. And then he got the flick turn done nicely.
Here's Jason Norris and the Automasters entry across the curb with... Oh, no! Espray got the curb and got Norris. And up on the tyre barrier goes the 88. He won't get out of there in a hurry. Heavy damage on the front of the 777, the Uniden car of Holly Espray.
Pace going. This is the replay. So Norris got the job done. He got down the inside nicely. It's all clean at this point. Holly Espray runs wide, but there's a second bounce off there. She bounces actually into the back quarter panel.
And what Jaden Wanzak was also, watch the carry boy car, just he hoped for a position to get through, and does he just? I think there was a bit of contact with them as well. So the 90 that was trying to get back up after a spin at turn 9 is caught up in another incident here. So Espray left-hand side, across the curb. It's that second part of the curb that sends her across into the Automasters car. And Norris wouldn't have seen that. He would have just felt it as his world started spinning around in the Automasters 88.
It's quite heavy contact on that outside, which is turn 3. But it was this point here where he's still skidding along the concrete wall, reverses literally up and over onto the tyre bundle, and Holly, she literally ends up parking. You see the front wheel there is heavily damaged.
Just the one race today for the Tyre Power V8 SuperUtes Series, with one more to come to decide the crown for 2024. Fast part of the course through there. Here it is from the Maverick, Jaden Wanzak. Anticipating something here. Big punch of flame from the Automasters car, and Holly Pop comes over. Oh, that was more than a bit of a nudge on the 90 on the Uniden 777. So I wonder if he's wounded too.
It's now the battle for second and third.
Crick is in 5th position with Ryan Howe. Contact in the background, and this is exactly how we saw it yesterday. Harris side by side with Vernon. Cottrell's trying to make this 3 wide. They almost got into the wall on the run down Bartels Road. Look at the damage on the 41. As Marjoram, it's going to be another win. He's on target for a clean sweep. Crick on Cedars, climbs up on the USA Batteries car. Crick needs to think about the series. He'll lose a couple of positions. They're all going around in the background. It is Marjoram who wins. Brzezinski second. Borg is next. Cedars is going to drop outside the top 10 in the Tyre Power V8 SuperUtes Series. Spare parts going cheap at the Adelaide hairpin.
It looks like a scrapyard. This is where it happened. Harris got a really poor run off turn 7. Cottrell didn't try to get the overlap. Harris is just to shut him down. He's ripped the whole front off Cottrell, but that's also allowed Vernon to then get a nice run through turn 8. This is then all right at the end. Cameron Crick just tried to make a hole where it wasn't, and Dave Cedars got caught up in the end of it.
Further down, more contact here, Sherwell and Webber. That's why that turned into a a drag race on the end. Oh, Sherwell almost got Cedars, who was caught up in that last corner skirmish yesterday. Finished in 15th position. A lot of points lost. Oh, no. Holly Espray into Norris again and into the wall, right-hand side after starting from pit lane. The Uniden 777 with more damage now. Meantime, up at the Adelaide hairpin, this was Wanzak. Oh, just a bit of nudge on the 41. That's why he was fishtailing. Maybe he was trying to feed it gears and was snapping sideways at the same time. Espray locking up and into the Automaster's car.
That was quite weird. She almost looked like she locked the rears.
Yeah. Just watching the rear of that car there, a lot of damage, man. They've worked so hard overnight just to have this repaired. It was a high-speed crash in the chicane yesterday with Jason Norris. And now she runs back. 21st position is up to the hairpin. Rossi Johnson. Oh, Adrian Cottrell heading back to the roots of speedway racing. Sideways up to the final turn. Grab a gear and go, son. The Star Electrical 41 will pop outside the top 10. No damage.
This is the replay. Oh, he actually come off the inside curb, and as it landed, it actually gave him a bit of a Scandinavian flick. And thankfully, that little road there, the access road, you watch this. This is another one from on board with Jaden Wanzak. You see there, just absolutely flicked him straight off to the left.
There he is, finding a parking spot up there by the wall. This was the little short straight between Wakefield and Flinders. They're like magnets, which dragged away the bottom panel of the 333. And watch Woods.
Woods is just sitting there laughing.
Track. So what happened? We'll get into that in a moment. Here's Scotty Taylor.
Oh, Scotty done a nice job there. Nice car control. Well,
not there.
Not there. He almost had it sorted. Nice little flick spin. He just got that left rear onto the grass line. He almost got it turned around. And I think just got probably excited, got on the gas a bit early.
This is Sherwell. It's on Hutt Street into the right-hander. Wide. Wall. Straightened up. Grab a gear. Off we go. And a cheap rear light assembly going up for grabs in the pits. Make him an offer. Amar Sharma and Mick Sherwell. These two have been joined at the hip all weekend. Knock, knock. Who's there? It's Amar Sharma. Gives him a wave on the way through, so the Cub.
And gets the pass done at the same time.
Was it a wave to say on pass or my bad? Now let's have a look here down at turn number 6. And here comes Cottrell. And I was assisted off there. That was more than a bump. And he's gone. Oh, he's taken to the other track. We've got a Joker lap now in the SuperUtes Series. He should pop out somewhere in about a minute's time down the other end of the track.